Hello everyone, and welcome to a double Sunday upload from yours truly, TJC Gaming. And this week we will be learning the art of outpsyching your opponents. So, what do I mean by outpsyching? Outpsyching in any sport means that against your competitors, you want to try and show them, or maybe even fake, that you have the edge on them. So what we're going to do is, we're going to give you some examples here, and we're going to use this week's race here at Brands Hatch. So this race has been good to me this week. I picked up 8 wins so far. I haven't raced this weekend, but you know, you've got to have some downtime and chill. So what we're going to do is we're going to start the race here, and we're starting in 3rd place, and you've got to think, well, can I win from just pole, or can I win from a little bit further back too? So, and the answer is yes. But what I like to do, and I do this all the time, is a very few set of specific things. So we start the race here. As you can see, I'm behind P2. So what I'm trying to do here is just stay as close to the car as I can without losing visibility from the corner. And also, I don't want to tap him in the rear, obviously. So maybe stay a couple of attempts back from the car that you're trying to follow. But stay close enough so they can see you in the mirrors, or see you on the radar, or just see you as the general threat. So here, I can see he's gone wide. I keep it in nice and tight. Now what I want to do is, I do not want to go for a move here. I will stay behind him here, pick up the slipstream, and usually I'd fake the left or the right. But I just get in his mirrors here so he can see me. Maybe he's using the radar too. And I can tell that that has unfazed him just that little bit, as you're about to see. And there you go. He's trying to push a little bit too hard. He must have seen me behind him, and he's gone. So what we'll do is we'll have another replay and another look at that. So this is from his perspective here. He's starting the lap. Obviously, he's concentrating on player 1 in the front there. But if you look at me behind you, you could see that I'm just in his mirrors. I'm just right there. And you want to keep that pressure on. Now, some drivers will be strong psychologically, and they'll be able to take that pressure lap after lap after lap, but others won't. So what I've been doing is, this week as well, I've been going down the left, that's what that arrow is for, to fake the move and having them stay on the right. And at the last minute I was braking, let them take the corner, but they would take it and they would run wide as well. Just like this, but they would be on the inside of the corner rather than the middle of the track like he was. So, I'm now in P2, so that's all well and good. P3 behind me, I don't view him as a threat. So I'm just going to push on now. So this player here, what I'm going to do now is I'm always gauging what's going on around me, in a race. So I can see that the time delta there is 2 seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep an eye on whether I can decrease that by any margin at all, or can I just stay with him? And this is how I'm going to gauge how fast a driver he is. So let's see. So it hovers between 2.1, 1.9. So I'm going to keep pushing, and this is where I will work out who's the faster driver. Also, the added benefits of this is I'm still controlling my tires. So my tire management is going just as it would be whether I was P1 or P2. Because I'm out of his slipstream range, I'm getting no dirty air, and my tires are not wearing down because of it. So that gap seems to be staying roughly the same, and I have now understood that this driver is the same speed as me. So what I've got to do now is I've got to get in this driver's head, and I've got to make him think that I'm the faster driver, and he's not going to have an easy time of winning this race. So that's quite simple to do. You just keep shadowing, and keep up with him, and just keep the times going, keep consistent. But most importantly as well is this driver is cooking his tires, because he is pushing extra hard to try and drop a bigger gap from me, because he wants to win, like we all do. So here we go, just completing lap number 2 now. And watch what I do right here. I keep to the right because I want to have the fastest lap. So I want him to see that on his screen, and I want to get in his head and have him think, oh no, this guy he's faster than me, he's gonna catch me. So I really need to push harder. So in doing so, I'm making him push even harder on his tires. And I can tell that he'll be wearing them down with the pace that he's trying to run. So let's keep pushing him, and let's see if my prediction turns out to be correct. But before you start any race, or racing in general on GT Sport, it's very, very wise to make sure you practice the track. So it's full in your muscle memory as well. because muscle memory on a pad or on a wheel is very important, and that will minimize any mistakes you have, and that will give you psychologically the edge. So when you see the races announced on Kudos Prime, whether it be the Thursday or the Friday when it comes out on the internet, just have a look at the race and the settings, and maybe have like a practice lobby. They're easy to set up, and people join them. You know, they're quite frequently used. I tend to run them myself as well, and it just gets you in the flow of it, and you can learn the strategy yourself too. So that's a top tip for you right there. Okay, so we're coming to the end of lap 3 now. The gap is still the same. You know, he can't get away from me, but watch this. He pushed too hard and he's off the grass, and here we go. We're right by into P1. So quite simply, he cooked his tires, he couldn't get away from me, and we'll see a replay here. And yeah, that's just perfect. Look, off he goes. You know, there's no coming back from that. He was lucky to not spin actually as well. So he's into P2 now, but because he's cooked his tires, that won't be the end of his problems. So he thinks everything's good now, so he's going to go through turn 1 and down into turn 2. But yeah, because he's melted his tires a lot more than I have, he's going to have this problem right here. So not only did I make him lose P2 by pushing his time, I've made him go back into P3 as well. So there you go, a bit of psychology for you there. So yeah, with that being said, yeah, it's good to practice. The more practice you get in any combination, the better and stronger you get at it. And having the right mental attitude before you go into the race is perfect as well. I used to get so nervous before I started any GT Sport race. And the reason for that is I just wasn't prepared enough or practiced enough. Sometimes I'll still get like some pre-race nerves, depending on the competition as well. But yeah, I used to be quite nervous and quite bad for it, and that would lead to me making mistakes. So the most important thing about winning any long race, like a race C, is just consistency and being very well practiced and knowing exactly what your car is going to do in a situation. Like if you buy a real road car in real life, and let's say you take it to a quiet place and you want to test it and see what it can do. So you push it through some quiet corners, and you know, you can feel the understeer, maybe it understeers a little, maybe it oversteers a little, but that will help you in terms of something like getting black ice in winter, because you kind of know what your car is going to do and how it's going to react. So it's all good benefits for your driving, just to practice and learn your car, learn your combination. But tire wear especially, you know, you want to be trying to be as smooth as possible on your car, and that will give you the best tire life as well. So just be smooth on the brakes, don't lock the brakes too much, because even with ABS you can lock the brakes too. And just practice and just have that in the back of your mind, that you're going to be smooth, you're going to be fast, and you're not going to make any mistakes. And that will get you some really good results, and that will push you up higher. Another top tip I can give you guys as well, in terms of psychology and having the edge, is the absolute positive mental attitude. So what I mean by this is, I'll give you an example. A couple of weeks ago we had the Nürburgring Race C in the Group 4 cars, and I was on pole and I got knocked off at turn 1, and I went down to 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th place, and I was in the GT Citroen Group 4. So I didn't think, well, the race is over and I'm just going to quit. So what I did was I pushed myself back up the field, and I eventually won the race, because I just kept in the back of my mind positivity, make the moves, keep it nice and smooth. So even getting knocked off, it's not always the end of your race, especially if it's the start of the race. And if it's a long race, then like this, you can easily come back from any mistakes, because driver accidents can happen, and obviously we've seen deliberate accidents too. So keeping positive is everything when it comes to performing well at any task, sim driving or in life in general. And another top tip as well is, you guessed it, is the famous keep hydrated saying. So keeping yourself hydrated with fluids, especially when you're concentrating on any task, it's super important. Whether you're a pad user or a wheel user, you know, you keep yourself hydrated with fluids. What I tend to do is I have like diluted orange juice or coffee even, or sometimes even energy drinks, to give myself like a little bit of boost. Whether or not the energy drinks do give you a boost is kind of debatable. There have been people that have tried that, but hey, that works for me. So keep yourself hydrated, and obviously as well, because if you don't keep yourself hydrated, you get hot. If you get hot, you get sweaty. You get sweaty, you make mistakes. You make mistakes, you crash. You make mistakes and crashes, you lose as well. So all those top tips are very important to keeping yourself tip-top condition. So we're just going to do the pit stop here. This isn't a full race replay. It's just a short video explaining the edges and psychology you need. But yeah, this was a good race for me. And like I say, you know, I started the race in 3rd place and thought, well, I'm going to win this. I'm definitely going to win this. I'm going to get the edge. So here's the results here. So 1st place and a win. So that was excellent. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed those top tips, guys. I hope to see you again soon. I'll have another content upload for you very shortly. Probably a video with my 50th win, but we'll see what happens for the rest of the day. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. I hope you learned something good, and I hope to see you again next time. This is TJ. Take care.